I am Guy Haydon. I'm Chief Commercial Officer for AEROVOLT, and we have the honour of being able to say we are building the world's first public charging network for electric aircraft. And I often use the analogy electric aircraft is where the car industry was when the first Nissan Leaf came out. So, those of you that are familiar with electrification of aircraft, the Pipistrel Velis, I compare to the Nissan Leaf. It's a great aircraft. It's a good demonstrator of what's possible. It's been popular with early adopters. It has good capabilities, but the capabilities do need to go further. But that's very much a good, solid starting point, the same as the Leaf was. And AeroVolt, we're building a charging network. So if you look across the OEMs, certainly on the light aircraft end of things, they all are either currently flight testing electric aircraft, have production already started for electric aircraft and will be delivering to customers, or they're earlier on in their electrification journey, but absolutely they have projects. So what we're doing is, as I say, we're building the world's first charging network. So it's a public charging network. Fly in, tap a card, charge your plane the same as you would charge a car. We take the view that anything that flies with a battery, we want to be able to charge it. So that can include eVTOL or air taxis, they're sometimes called, could include drones, could include larger aircraft. I'm very big on what I call the art of the possible. And the art of the possible in aviation at the moment is light aircraft, right? So it's small two-seaters, four-seaters. Those are the things that are either in the market now, already being used by flight schools, or the things that flight schools are ordering strongly, right? So yes, we're not yet decarbonizing a 777, right? But it does mean that certainly flight training and the lighter end of the market, there's answers to how we can electrify, decarbonize that right now. We never set out as a business, frankly, to have a mission of decarbonizing aviation. We set out to build infrastructure to allow this technology to exist and to grow. And essentially, decarbonisation, sustainability, and all the wins around that are a nice outcome. So, our network, currently, we've got live sites across the south coast of the UK. So, not a render, not a concept, a real thing being used by flight schools. And we have a pipeline now of airports across UK, US, some in mainland Europe, and some in Australia, all to be built out. So, there's in fact more than 250 airports in our pipeline. So, I've got a lot of cash to put in the ground, as you can imagine.
Do you just on the number of do you have a kind of rough number in terms of like the number of those types of aircraft that are used for flight schools, like either in the UK or
So in the UK, there are currently 13. So it's a big number. But in the US, there's more. And if you look across electric aircraft, there's actually over 16,000 electric aircraft of different types currently on order. And on the training market, we work very closely with the OEMs of the aircraft, as you can imagine. So the next, let's say, big trainer coming to market is called the Bristol Energic. When that went and toured the US, they took our charger with them because we're part of the story. So we know the flight schools out in the US that have ordered 10 aircraft, 8 aircraft, 6 aircraft, and there's certainly a lot to be done with co-locating chargers for them as they bring them online. But these are aircraft that have all of the capabilities that the schools need and, you know, operationally work, plus save them loads of money. So again, coming back to sustainability and decarbonisation, that's a nice that outcome as opposed to an aim. And when you've got something that's has all the capabilities and saves you loads of money, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? So, in addition to putting chargers in the ground, we've also built our own proprietary aircraft and charger management platform in the background. So, if you're a pilot, you're flying into somewhere, you can book your charging. You can also use it to book and manage aircraft. But interesting to probably the people on this call is we're also integrating that with the world's leading flight planning tools. So you can plan flights according to where charging is. And we're also integrating it with the leading in cockpit avionics providers. So again, same as in your electric car, you can see where chargers are. You'll be able to see that in your plane. And probably a lot of you know Octopus Electroverse. We're big on interoperability. So if you have the Octopus app and go on it right now, you can filter by aircraft charging. Equally, you can rock up to one of our chargers and charge your plane. If you happen to own an electric plane, you can use the Octopus app to do that.
Cool.
So, as I said, those are some of the sites that we've done. It's not a render, it's not a concept, it is a real thing. We have chargers out there being used, and that is our lovely Pipistrel Velis that you can see in the pictures. So, yeah. Um, One cool thing we also did last year, I should mention, with our Velis. If you haven't yet seen it, we did the world's first electric car versus electric plane race with these two guys that you might know. It was their biggest performing video on YouTube last year as well. So, yeah, we do some interesting things in the background. And that is me done for slides, Finley. You'll be pleased to know.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to add a bit of color to the description. And yeah, your latest charger design there